السلام عليكم. مم. مرحبا يا شباب. Mm, Do you all hear me well? This is just a quick stream so I can welcome the new subscribers and as well as the new learners. Um, I just wanted to chat with a few of you about where to begin. So if you're new to this, you can just let me know in the live chat and we can inshallah start the conversation. I got a lot of questions by email and also in the comment section, so I thought I would just like stop by and get your questions live, inshallah. So I'm just gonna give it a moment for everyone to hop in. This was not a scheduled stream, but since I got a lot of questions, I thought I would just hop and then answer some of your questions. You can see the live chat. You can just drop Assalamu alaikum or Marhaba. And let me know if you are new to Arabic Khatawat and how many steps you have covered so far. Mhm. Just make sure I can see everyone's questions. Okay. Let me get the questions here and I'll start answering them. If you have any other questions, you can just let me know and I will try to answer your questions inshallah in this live. So the first question was, where do I begin? من أين أبدأ? من أين أبدأ? So there are about 33 different steps for early beginners. You can start basically from the Arabic alphabet all the way until you start reading full text. For intermediate level students, and this is a really critical kind of position for intermediate learners because there are three different stages for intermediate. They start looking for vocabulary in order for them to comprehend full text. And the amount of vocab they need to reach that comprehension level depends again on their exposure. So, for instance, I would ask my students to start learning verbs, and the verbs help them understand the context because there is action. For other learners, they try to learn more nouns because they're comfortable with nouns. They don't want to go through the verb conjugation, so they just learn the gerund and that's it. But it does help to learn the action verbs because in the action verbs, you learn the tenses and you learn past, present, and future. Then you create some sort of context where your nouns would make more sense with the action verbs. So for beginners, there are about 33 steps that you need to go through that would lead you all the way to reading short sentences, 2 word to 3 word sentences, but then you're building paragraphs by putting 3 words, then an additional 3 words, and then additional 3 words by putting like 3 sentences. So for instance, I would be saying something like, أنا طالبة في برنامج اللغة العربية. So I'm a student in an Arabic language program. أنا أستاذة في برنامج اللغة العربية. Or you can say أنا طالبة في برنامج اللغة العربية. أنا أسكن في بلد عربي. أنا أسكن في بلد غربي. So you start placing more emphasis on you inside the context, and you keep saying the ana. One of my students, she said like it does feel uncomfortable to talk and say ana, um, but it helps identify the speaker in the first stages of learning. Then you understand that the verb actually has the implicit ana in it. So just get comfortable with saying أنا أدرس، أنا أعمل، أنا طالب في جامعة، أنا طالب في برنامج، أنا طالب في مدرسة ثانوية, and you keep going from there. The other question I got, and you can post your questions in there. Let me just take this from here. And I believe you can all hear me. All right. I'll pull out the other question. All right. So someone was asking me like I've studied Arabic, just to summarize his question. I've studied Arabic for so long, but I cannot find the right moment to kind of understand the context. Um, in that situation, because sometimes we just learn certain words in certain contexts and we just gather a good amount of vocabulary, and then we do feel confident in one context. Once we step out of our comfort zone, that's when we feel challenged. And in that situation, I would consider it a learning opportunity. So I would just start learning new sets of vocab related to that context. So if you do not understand a new context, doesn't mean that you're not competent linguistically yet, but you're just trying to acquire more vocabulary and you're still learning. So trust the process. Be happy or satisfied with the first sets of words that you learned, let's say in the context of school. And then you step out and you travel, and then you need more vocab in the context of travel. Then you're gathering more information, more vocabulary. And you could say something like, أنا أحب السفر مع أصدقائي. وعادة أسافر معهم إلى بلدان عربية أو إلى بلدان أجنبية. And then you start narrating in the intermediate level with the context of travel, like in the exact same context. Now I'll take one last question. Ayana? Mm. Mhm. I just want to make sure the questions I answer are related to how I begin. So the first one we said about the 33 steps to learn Arabic. You can start from there. The second part we talked about is that if you are learning in the intermediate level, you have to keep switching context. That way you gather as many vocab as possible. The third part is you have to trust the process, even if you are quite confident um, in the amount of words you learned in one context. It's okay to challenge yourself a little bit more and then start learning more, inshallah. أهلا يا كنت. صحيح, long time no see. جميل جدا. هاشم وعليكم السلام. ممتاز. So these are only the three main points I wanted to talk about today is like where to begin as an early learner. Start with the writing the Arabic alphabet, and in the intermediate level, switch contexts. That way, you acquire more linguistic competency and also cultural competency. Kent, how many steps have you covered? صحيح. أنا أصبحت غريبة. I'm a stranger now. صحيح. ما شاء الله. وهاشم، أنت طالب لغة عربية من لاهور في باكستان. منذ متى وأنت تدرس اللغة العربية يا هاشم؟ منذ متى؟ مهم. ما زلت أنتظر الإجابة. وكنت أنت أيضا منذ متى وأنت تدرس اللغة العربية؟ أهلا محمد. منذ سنتين، ما شاء الله، منذ سنتين. إذا هاشم يدرس اللغة العربية منذ سنتين. هل تدرس لوحدك أم مع أستاذ يا هاشم؟ هل تدرس لوحدك أم مع أستاذ؟ مهم. هشيك صحيح. um, so Ashiq is saying, Ahmed, it's easy to practice spoken Arabic if I know classical Arabic. صحيح. Classical Arabic is definitely the foundation. ممتاز. منذ سنتين. أحسنت يا هاشم. Sean, أهلا يا Sean. Did we begin already? Ah, صحيح. So I was talking about like creating some sort of learning paths if you are in the early beginner. So we begin by like looking at the Arabic alphabet, of course, and then some phrases, but you have to keep a kind of a consistent schedule. So I have about 33 steps in the channel that you can follow. They are directed towards self-learners. نعم، عندي أصدقاء مصريون وأردنيون وهم أساتذتي. ممتاز يا هاشم. إذا أنت تعرفت على أصدقاء من مصر ومن الأردن وهم يعلمونك اللغة العربية الفصحى. آه. جميل يا هاشم، ممتاز ما شاء الله. And Kent, getting your videos and taking notes, making some progress day by day. ممتاز، أحسنت يا كنت. جميل. Khatawaat means steps, so we definitely take small steps, and I do take small steps as well with all the work that we have to do behind the scenes, and alhamdulillah. Um, and I keep saying like I've been blessed in so many ways, so alhamdulillah. I'm trying to balance also between being with you guys on the YouTube channel as well as being with my in-person students and online students as well. With Al-Fatiha. So Sean is saying, do you have a pathway that helps you learn Fusha or Quran starting with Al-Fatiha? Um, I would suggest that you start looking at the Arabic alphabet from Alif all the way to Ya. And looking at the Arabic alphabet would definitely help you read full Arabic text that includes Al-Fatiha, because you have to learn the long vowels, the short vowels, and then read along. So I believe the 33 steps I mentioned earlier would definitely be a great start. Sean, have you started learning Arabic, or this is just the first time you're attempting to gather information about how to learn? ممتاز يا شباب، ما شاء الله، جميل. نعم، فقط يا هاشم، أنت فقط تتكلم الفصحى مع أصدقائك، هذا ممتاز. وكنت كم خطوة من خطوات أكملت؟ هذا السؤال لكنت، كم خطوة من خطوات أكملت؟ هل أكملت المستوى الأول؟ Level 1. There are about 3 different levels. So there is level 1 for early beginners. That's the first pathway. The second pathway is level 2, where you learn more grammar. And the third pathway is when you start reading stories and comprehending full text and trying to understand maybe humor, maybe some implicit between the lines messages that are in short stories or full texts. So there are three levels or three pathways here in Arabic Khatawat. The last pathway is reading full Arabic text that includes short stories. So it gives you like a whole combination of everything that we covered in the first two pathways. أنا أيضا أشاهد الكثير من الرسوم المتحركة للسنافر وهي باللغة العربية الفصحى. أحسنت. جميل يا هاشم. أنا أحب الرسوم المتحركة لأن اللغة أو اللغة العربية الفصحى التي تستعمل في الرسوم المتحركة cartoons. So Hashim is saying like he learns through cartoons and the Smurfs are his favorite. The blue little people. السنافر. So that's called the sanafir. ممتاز يا هاشم. صحيح. Sanafir have like that cute voice, so it does help you retain some words. جيد. السنافر. ممتاز. Um, so let me go back to Sean's. I study off and on for past year reading English translation of Quran with Arabic on the other page. Mumtaz. Sean, so I suggest that you start with the first pathway, which is level 1. Look at the Arabic script and then gradually go until you reach the upper beginner level. That's all in level 1. So you have early, beginner, mid, and then you have upper level in the beginning stage. So the beginning stage, you have to go through all of that. Then you'll be able to comprehend full text. So since you're still doing both pages, English and Arabic, it's good to see the Arabic script and understand the writing that you're looking at. So it will be a win-win, inshallah. Wish you good luck. Just start with pathway 1. You're welcome, Zian. I speak Farsi, so it was easy for me to start. I already know alphabet and I guess meaning of the word. Yes, and we took some Farsi letters from Farsi, like the V. So for the V, we don't have it in Arabic, so we would put the F with 3 dots. So the P, we would put the Ba with 3 dots. And for the G, we would put the K with 3 dots. So it's kind of, we borrow from other languages to produce certain symbols for the sounds that we are able to say in our dialect sometimes. Like in Moroccan Arabic, we say gilt. So I would use the K with 3 dots. So Kent is saying how I learned to speak and read Arabic letters was from a girl who was Palestinian in Saudi. She taught me to memorize and then use the letters to write in English to become familiar with them. That's a nice approach, yeah. That could work. And I do suggest that when you memorize something, like you know the end, like the word boundaries or the end of the word. So like the beginning of the word and the end of the word. That way you kind of rewire your thinking to be aware of what you're saying. So you go like ana talib jadid, so you know when you're stopping between these words. And that will help you reuse or activate the words in other contexts. So you're not only memorizing the whole phrase, but you're memorizing single words, and you can take them out of that phrase and use them in another phrase. I don't know if I'm making sense. you you're used to make, I guess, Ken, so you know what I mean, right? Okay. So let's see the other one. Native American here in solidarity for Islamic people since 2012. Shukran. Thank you. Um, الشعب المغربي ودود للغاية. شكرا يا هاشم. صحيح صحيح. دائما في القلب دائما في القلب. Do you have a program or PDF for beginners? Yes. The program I mentioned, I think niece and nephew. Okay. The program I mentioned, it's all in level 1, so the 33 steps. I think I have a PDF with links to all of them. So if you send an email, I should be able to send you that. So just send an email to info@ArabicKhatawaat.com, and I'll send you a PDF with all the links to those videos for level 1. When should we start to incorporate a native speaker as a tutor? I've been learning since mid-May. Very good question. Um, that is a very good question, actually, because you have to choose the background of your tutor and choose the dialect. So, for instance, I heard some people, they go to certain apps and they randomly select tutors without looking at the dialect that they speak and their voice intonation, their word choices. Because like if they speak, uh, let's say Shami or Maghribi or Moroccan dialect, they might be mixing their dialect with modern standard Arabic. So you have to be very specific with your search for a tutor, and you have to communicate that you're looking only for modern standard Arabic. And I believe in the intermediate level, it would be the best time for you to look for a tutor who's a native speaker who can actually help you interact and use modern standard Arabic. That way, you kind of internalize everything that you've learned on your own. And maybe they can guide you, of course, to look for some gaps and then help you move to another level, inshallah. I hope I answered your question. I'll show these questions here so I can read them. I can read basic Arabic, but I don't know the meaning. That's the problem, but I'm trying to figure out little by little. That's a very good attempt. um, just start with the vocab, and I think in the playlist there are plenty of resources for you to understand single words and then learn those words in your own example. So you can create your own examples. If you're able to read and write, just start building your own examples. Um, can't say my struggle is definitely sentence structure and grammar because my yes, it is complicated. Alhamdulillah. So yes, Arabic is a very rich language, and then grammar can be intimidating. Um, I usually try to go easy on the grammar part, but it does come in handy because it helps you learn the structure of the sentence and it helps you understand where to place your vocabulary as an adjective or as a gerund or as like مبني للمجهول is like or a command or some amr. So there is some grammatical terminology that you need to be aware of. That way you understand how to conjugate. So it is a long process, unfortunately, to go over the grammar, but I believe it's very beneficial to at least kind of mix, get some vocab, get memorized, but please avoid robotic memorization. Um, be natural in the way you memorize. Keep your personality. Be as a natural speaker as you can, like as natural as you can. Don't fake or mimic certain sounds that are not yours or certain voice that is not yours. So create a new personality if you'd like, but it has to be yours with the Arabic voice. But don't be robotic. Mm, let's see. Mhm. Most recommended Egyptian because it's the easiest. Maghribi Arabi, Khaliji Arabi, Shami Arabi, or even Iraqi Arabi. The good advantage or the greatest advantage with Egyptian Arabic is that you have a lot of creative expression that is produced in Egyptian dialect. Meaning, if you're listening to songs, yes, it's in Egyptian dialect. If you're watching movies, they're all in Egyptian dialect, most of them, at least the ones that you can access on certain streaming platforms. That helps, definitely. So, Khaliji, yes, you do have a lot of resources as well for Khaliji. Um, Egyptian is good. Khaliji. And my fellow Arabs are not gonna help like me now. I'm picking certain dialects. I'll stay out of this uh, conflict with which dialect is better than the other. But all dialects are special in their own ways, and they create their own identified or their own sets of words, if I should say. My art is saying, do you offer any spoken Arabic course? I have been learning the language since 2 years now, but still not at a fluent level. Not easy to start my sentence. Yes. We do have speaking courses with another instructor with us. So she would usually meet with the students, and what we do is that we have to help the student feel more comfortable with the language. So yes, we do have the speaking sessions. Um, Weekly speaking sessions only that helps you. It's more of a one-on-one focus or tutoring sessions where you get to learn more about how you're using the language as a speaker. So it's self-paced, but with the guidance of an instructor. So if you're interested, you can always send us an email and I'll send you more information about that. Hashim is saying, I am an English teacher by profession. Your accent is 80. Americanized صحيح. أنا أسكن في أمريكا يا هاشم. So yeah, it's my accent got a bit Americanized. أنا أسكن في أمريكا. I live in the States, in the US, but in the South. So I get some jokes when people tell me, what type of English do you speak? So I don't think I speak the Southern accent yet. But نعم 80% أمريكية. Writing in Arabic is super fun. Just trying to form sentences is the hard part. Yes. Star. So what we're trying to do with our students is what we tell them is like create kind of a mold for your. It's like when you're baking a cake, you have the bacon mold. So you have to create some sort of sentence. And in that sentence, you just change the verb, you change the noun, you change the adjective, and then you just keep placing your vocab in the exact same structure. So if you're saying, أنا طالب, I am a student at a university, you could just say, I'm a doctor at a hospital. I am here at this place. I am this at here. Excuse me. And as you're placing all of your titles, you're also learning all of different places. So that could help you write or structure certain sentences. You should use some Arabic phrases as well. It gets implanted in the minds and the listeners. صحيح. سأستعمل اللغة العربية يا هاشم، ولكن ليس كل الطلاب في نفس المستوى. أحيانا هناك مبتدئون، فاللغة العربية تخيفهم قليلا إذا تكلمت طوال الوقت باللغة العربية. So Hashim is asking me to switch to some Arabic phrases. We do that during the study sessions, but I don't want to intimidate early beginners. I'm sure we have many with us, but if you are here, you can always send a message, and I'll know, or drop number one. Say I'm in level 1. Drop number 1. Say level 1 or level 2 or level 3. Inshallah. Can't. I go to supermarkets where it's mostly Moroccans, but that challenge is the mixing in Darija. صحيح. صحيح. I speak Darija, and if I mix Darija with the Fusha, I mean, some Darija words actually come from Fusha, definitely. It's part of the Arabic language, but the accent changes, just the intonation of the voice, the accent changes. So that might throw off some students, yeah. Apps. I am not a big fan of apps. I get a lot of apps sending me emails to promote them. Like uh, I prefer self. I prefer that students rely on their own ability to produce a language. Um, if you're using an app, um, and all app developers are not going to like me today, but if you're using an app, make sure you are in control of how you're using the app. Um, which one did I use before? I used Nakarit, which is I'll probably put the name in the description box after this, but I used one that reads the text to in a voice that's closer to the human voice, which is like AI. That I used, and I did ask my students also to kind of use it to read like single sentences. That would help. Um, vocab, I think just use a dictionary. Oh, I don't have that one. Try to use a dictionary, and it will help you. I'm a traditional learner, so I love dictionaries. I love actual text papers. Write, listen, and write down your vocab. So yeah, I prefer that you rely on your skills as a learner. Um, well, yeah, I learned Arabic watching your videos and here in San Francisco. MashaAllah, Jan. Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that you use the videos to learn Arabic. Alhamdulillah, that's the whole purpose. And those videos actually they're structured in a way for you to go from step 1 all the way to step 33. So it is a whole pathway, and it's better not to skip any step. That way you gradually get to the desired level, which is level 2 as a learner, or 3. Um, Tonio, I think I shared the pathway at the beginning, inshallah. So look for level 1 in the playlist. And I explained in the description box of that playlist how you can use it. Um, oh, you live in Dearborn. MashaAllah. You're in the hub of Arabic speakers, so you should pick up, I think, Lebanese dialect in Dearborn. So I think Lebanese dialect would be a good choice to to select if you live in Dearborn, because the Lebanese community is quite dominant in Michigan, Dearborn, with the, yeah, go for it. Lebanese dialect. Montez. Yes, so my art email address, you can use actually Khatawaat101 at gmail.com. I'll just type in the email here, or info at ArabicKhatawaat.com. If you are a beginner, just send an email and then we'll send you the list of links that will take you to all 33 steps. Hansford Dictionary. It comes in English and Arabic. Let me see if I can. It's a German. I believe I'm saying it right. Hansver. How do I spell it? Hansver Dictionary. Okay. It's this one. It's this one. I don't know if you can see it. The Hansford Dictionary. It spells as, I'll type it here. Hansver. W-A-E-H-R. I think you can find it in the online archive. So Hansford Dictionary, that's the one you could refer to. هل تعرف أمين أستاذ اللغة العربية على اليوتيوب وهو يعيش حاليا في المغرب؟ لا يا هاشم، أنا لا أعرف الأستاذ أمين. أنا أسكن الآن في أمريكا مع عائلتي. جيد. San Francisco Bridge. Okay, let's do this since everyone is here, and we can actually we can follow Hashim's advice, and we can just share a few Arabic phrases since we're all here. Share your favorite Arabic word or your favorite Arabic phrase, and I will just read it out loud, and use that. Um, I'll display the sentence. Sorry, it's kind of late for me here. So all of my coffee is wearing off. Um, so please write your Arabic phrase, and then I will just read it out loud for everyone to practice. Oh, Kent, and I guess you're gonna have the Arabic club. Okay, you should start your Dearborn Arabic Learners Club. That's it, Kent, and who else is there? Dunamis. All right. There was actually a very interesting kind of community initiative that some people in Texas have done. They have created like an Arabic club, and they had like Arabic coffee weekly meetings with everybody who was learning Arabic. So they would just like meet once a week, have a qahwa Arabiya, Arabic coffee or Turkish coffee, and they would just like interact with one another. And it was a nice social gathering. It supported their learning. I shared that experience with my students, and it's really interesting if you are in the same area. So, yalla, you can do it. Here, I'll جيمس. متأخرة يا أستاذة، هذا جيمس. صحيح الوقت متأخر الآن، ولكن أنت تعرف أني سعيدة لأنني الآن أتكلم مع كل الطلاب والمشاركين في خطوات. مهم. بالضبط بالضبط here بالضبط certainly exactly, so that's the word for بالضبط. أنا فرحان. جيد. Mhm. Yes. I'll be switching, so multitasking. Good thing I'm a mom. uh, do you think that the only way to learn Arabic is to learn writing system? I believe in that strategy and approach, and I believe James can support that as well, right, James? Um, Writing helps you retain the vocab. So I think it's really important for you to go through the writing system if you are a solo learner, meaning you're just by yourself, you're learning on your own as a self learner. Just start with the writing system. Once you pick a tutor at a comfortable stage of your learning and you bond with the tutor, it has to be someone you kind of like and interact with, so you enjoy your sessions. That's when you start picking up more spoken Arabic. John, النصيب يصيب ولو كان تحت الجبلين. John, I feel like I have Arabic speakers with you in the gathering. النصيب يصيب ولو كان تحت الجبلين. Like you're, how do I translate that? That's a difficult translation. What is meant for you is going to happen, even if it was under two mountains. That's the verbatim translation. That's an idiomatic expression, sort of proverb. That's nice. شعب الأفغان، أنت من أفغانستان. ممتاز ما شاء الله. السلام عليكم من المكسيك، وأنا أتحدث اللغة العربية قليلا. أحسنت ما شاء الله. So here's the thing. I think I answered some questions about the pathway and where to begin. But just to wrap it up, I'd like to summarize what we have covered. And if I forget anything, you can always help me in the chat. But what we tried to go over is like how you can begin as a learner especially if you're a solo learner. You don't have a tutor, you don't have an instructor, and you would like to cover as much as possible on your own before you hire someone who's going to guide you throughout your learning journey. Um, Start with level one, which is like a pathway with 33 steps. And that will guide you to level two. In level two, you'll find more grammar lessons and more vocab. Level three, you're guided towards reading full text. Once you read level three, that's when you take control of your own learning, meaning that you're able to access authentic text. You're able also to kind of switch contexts. That's what I said earlier. Like as an intermediate level, challenge yourself. As an intermediate learner, challenge yourself and switch from one context to another. Um, Jayed. Other things that we talked about. Let me see. We talked about dialects and which one to choose. If you like watching movies, you like listening to music, you like accessing more authentic creative expression, uh, go for the Egyptian dialect. It's quite common, but also Shami and other dialects are also common, and you can find some authentic resources that are quite popular in the region as well. So like music is quite popular, poetry is popular. That's a popular form of creative expression. But if you're looking at poetry, it might be in modern standard Arabic, but you could find some other resources with the dialect. Um, yes, I think. جيد. مسلسلات نعم. هاشم يقول أشاهد أيضا المسلسلات اللبنانية القديمة من السبعينيات بطولة عبد المجيد مجدوب. You have really good friends, Hashim. They taught you all about the Arab culture and even like the Lebanese Abdul Majid Majdoub and the other Lebanese actors. ممتاز يا هاشم أحسنت. James, اللغة بريئة من دم يوسف. This is an expression we said that language is always innocent from. Thank you, James. So we say اللغة بريئة من دم يوسف, meaning that the language should not be blamed for the acts of its people. So I don't know how to translate that because it's taken out of context. We had a whole different conversation about this, and then we said this statement. But yes, thank you. الشمس سوف الشمس سوف تشرق. That's a good tongue twister, Kent. The sun will rise. الشمس سوف تشرق. ممتاز. So Claire is saying I learned this form and شو بتسوي is like what are you doing? Good phrase. MashaAllah, I taught myself how to read with YouTube and books. Then one day I could read Surah Al-Fatiha from Mus'haf. Alhamdulillah, it was a special moment. I'm happy to hear that, Ra'ul. MashaAllah, that's really wonderful. Like I said, the Arabic script will help you read the Arabic script writing and getting used to the Arabic sentences and use your hands, pens and papers, and write. It will definitely lead you to your desired objective. صحيح, blood of Yusuf is dam Yusuf. صحيح. John. Okay. أنا أتعلم كل المفردات باللغة العربية الفصحى من القنوات الإخبارية وأيضا من يوتيوب. أحسنت. جميل جدا. ممتاز. We will inshallah schedule our study sessions. If this is your first time being with us, I believe you can access some of the study sessions that we had before, but I will send you the form to sign up for the study session. So when we get them scheduled, I will be sending an email to announce the exact dates. for our weekly study sessions. And in those sessions, we do incorporate a lot of the target language, which is Arabic, as in the form of modern standard Arabic or Fusha. So just give me a moment to pull out the form. There we go. I already got an email. Someone saying level 1. I'll send it to you, inshallah. Your live study sessions. Thank you so much. And if you've benefited from Arabic Khatawat in any way, just let me know. That way I know how to modify, curate the content to be more accessible to people from different backgrounds and learning experiences. We do our best, but inshallah, we'll keep working. Let's see. Here we go. I will send you this one. And you can just sign up in this form for the live study sessions. And those are free live study sessions, meaning we meet like this, but we do share content for you to look at and, of course, to recognize. So you can see the form. You can see the form and then just fill it out, inshallah. Sheikh Fayaz, I would love to, maybe inshallah in the future, but we do have the Arabic script pathway. And from there, you can actually switch to more Quranic Arabic, inshallah. Level 1, yes. قرأت سورة الرحمن, ما شاء الله. Shukran. I have an itch. What do you mean, like يحكني? حك يحك. It's like something is itching me. It's like يحكني حك. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Shukran. The playlists are created to help you. But I will try to send you the PDF for level 1. Just make sure you send me an email and I posted it. For level 2, we do have the playlists in links. Level 3, we do also have those also in links and the titles. So yes, I think we could do that. I'll try to update the community page and send you an announcement with those modifications, inshallah, so you can access the PDF. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy to hear that. And I'm happy you're joining us from San Francisco, I believe. Inshallah, I'll keep uploading. But for the stories, those are only accessible to students in our classes. For copyright material, sometimes the content can be delivered in other platforms, and we would like to just keep the copyrighted content within the community. But I'll keep you updated, inshallah, John, if we provide any PDFs. Shukran ya shabab, thank you so much. I hope you feel better, inshallah, ya Kent. أنا آسفة. أتمنى لك الشفاء العاجل inshallah. Inshallah, we'll be in touch about when our live session will be. And if you're joining, please don't be a ghost participant. At least let me know that you are there. And I know who's watching behind the screen. So don't hide behind the screen. If you're watching, for whatever reason you're watching us, please claim your presence. And I'll see you inshallah. أتمنى لك الشفاء العاجل. مع السلامة يا شباب وليلة سعيدة والسلام عليكم.